All right, before we turn around quickly, I wanted to say that it is more than obvious and apparent that the city officials and leadership do not want us out here. They don't want you out here. They don't want you speaking up for justice, and they do not want us marching in this street bringing attention to police brutality. It's tough to get justice when you don't get acknowledgement. And the AG, Keith Ellison, would have you not get acknowledged at all. That's why he tried to shut down an entire march at the Capitol last week.
Listen!
And tell everybody they need to fill out 9 damn pages of paperwork, otherwise he's gonna fine them $25,000.
Wow.
And Nakima said it righteously, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Listen!
And Keith Ellison sure as hell ain't my kinfolk.
Listen!
They would not want you to have justice because they sure as hell don't want you to get acknowledged. And for some of the people that are here from 38th in Chicago, you know that community made 24 demands of what justice looks like. Andrea Jenkins says, what does justice look like? They gave them 24 demands before they lift up the barriers for vehicles to go through. So what did Minneapolis Public Works do? Minneapolis Public Works for white public said, we're gonna lift the barriers. You got 3 options, a one-way, or a two-way.
Wow.
George Floyd who?
Wow.
They don't even acknowledge the black bodies that have hit the floor. And when Mike Freeman came out and lied on Jamar Clark,
yeah, listen,
and you saw Nakima and others organized community leaders in that courtroom stand up and be appalled, you saw the sweat beating off of Mike Freeman's forehead because you knew that motherfucker was lying.
Listen! Listen!
And he comes out here and he says what Jamar Clark said. He speaks for the black body. I'm gonna tell you something. White folks don't speak for me.
Listen! Listen!
Mike Freeman doesn't speak for Hennepin County. And nobody but the family of Jamar Clark speaks for Jamar Clark. I am tired, fatigued, and downright, I'm exhausted.
Listen!
Of white folks in Minnesota speaking for black narratives.
Yeah.
This is done right now. And I'd like to say that this is over. But on October 20th, just 2 days ago, a 19-year-old black boy was shot and killed by the Waukegan Police Department in Illinois. That's just a few miles south of where Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times and rendered paralyzed.
Listen!
Marcellus Stinnett was shot and killed by the Waukegan Police Department. And because he wasn't filmed like Jamar Clark, they lied on his narrative. They said that he ran when he got shot in the car. They said he died in the hospital when he died in the car. Sound familiar?
Yeah.
They said the same thing happened to George Floyd. They probably said the same thing happened to Terrence Franklin. They probably said the same thing happened to Isaac Hayden. They probably said the same thing happened to Travis Jordan. They probably said the same thing happened to Kobe Eisler. And we're tired of the lies. They shoot and kill us with impunity and then walk and are protected by the same city that we pay. They don't get to have a city commission tax-paid murder and then beautify it with city commission tax-paid money. You don't get to come to 38th and Floyd and make it pretty, and then Lisa Bender walks off into the sunset and says, look what I did. The 4th precinct doesn't get to stay and say, look what they did, and still exist at the same time. It is time to heed the words of the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar and let the community control the policing. This needs to be community oversight, community votes, community control of the police. And the last thing, when you get a white boy like Bob Kroll that says vulgar, racist, sexist, and horrible things and gets to fail upwards,
listen,
that should show you what the system is about. But if it didn't show you enough, you need to look at Art Knight,
yeah,
a black police officer
listen,
that started saying, we have too many white boys on the police department.
Listen!
And he gets demoted.
Listen!
So if you're black and you're part of the police department, This is an open invitation to put that badge down, put that gun down, and you have the opportunity to be kinfolk. You have the opportunity to do it. You're still a human being. You have the opportunity to be kinfolk. You don't need to wake up in the morning and go hunting black men like Jamar Clark or myself.
Listen!
We are not open season.
Listen!
Black men are not open season. I am not here for your hunt, and I never will be. So black police officers like Art Knight, you can find a better job, because guess what? They're gonna demote your ass even further.
Listen!
And there ain't nothing you can do about it. And the Bob Krolls of this police department are just gonna keep rising until you give control to the community. Heed the words of the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar. And narratives like Jamar Clark, because they weren't filmed, we should still believe the family. Narratives like Marcellus Stinnett, because we didn't see it filmed, you still believe the family. I believe that we will win.
I believe that we will win.
I know that we will win. I believe that we will win. I know that we will win. All power to the people. We're going to turn this around. Michelle Gross is going to speak at the end with some other speakers. We're going to turn this around and head back to watch the scroll roll out.